So hello Guardians wannabe, in this episode we are going to see and understand why if you think that in order to get healthy you just need to meditate or pray or listen to the guides, well, you must rethink about it, and why if you think that only healing the physical body is enough, you must rethink about it, and why if you are doing both you are stuck with your health and what you can do about that. Stay tuned. And welcome Guardians wannabe to Essential Wholeness Podcast. In this podcast we will explore a new way to unify body, mind, soul, heart and everything into one essential wholeness. We will focus on methodology of healing the body which are suited for this new century, the century of toxins, and meditations that are suited for the modern man, which is so much more complicated in his head compared to our ancestors. So without any hesitations, let's tune in. So welcome Guardians wannabe to this brand new podcast. I'm so excited to have you here talking with me about the essential wholeness that we need to find and reach. Yes, reach and enrich ourselves. Okay, so this is my first episode. So why is important in nowadays world to understand how healing takes place? Why? Because I see so many people, both that are healing just their bodies without considering the mind, and with mind I mean also heart, soul, psyche, you can call it however you want. And also I see also many people from the other side which are just healing their mind. These normally are meditators or light workers, you can call it however you want. I don't know if you call yourself in one way or the other, but the point is that. So we live in a world that has kept us for centuries like divided, right? So the lower is lower, the higher is the higher. So even today we are trying to get out of the ancient paradigms. Sorry for my bad grammar. I'm from Italy. I'm trying to speak English, but I think that I'm not perfect. Okay, let's say that I'm not perfect. So we are trying so hard to, as a whole, as a humanity, as a collective consciousness, to get out of the ancient, pathways, paradigms. Well, you understood. But still, there are some points that we miss. For example, let's take the meditators. They are so much into just meditating. And this is the fault of the ancient religions, not just Christianity, but also, for example, Buddhism. Buddhism, as the standpoint in which they say it's not important if you have a healed body, a healthy body. The important is that you witness, that you have a mindful approach. And having a mindful approach is great. I love mindfulness. I think that everybody must practice mindfulness, even if you are following a religion, a religion that maybe it's totally different because it is based on prayer, on gratitude, on devotion. I think that some mindfulness approach would be very great for everybody. But that doesn't mean, and Buddha didn't say that, of course, but after 2005 and 500 years, well, things get a bit complicated, right? Buddha didn't say that you should be unhealthy. You should watch your health and still be mindful. But I have spoken with many people, Buddhists, even, people that are on top of some school that are saying, well, yes, I am unhealthy. I am trying to fix my health, but I don't care so much because, you have to accept poisons, etc., etc. And let's take another example. From the point of view of the light workers, we can say, yeah, we are connecting with these guides, we are receiving messages. I am a bit, and sometimes I am hardcore against some of these messages we get, not in their wholeness, in their essential wholeness. But I think that unless we are channeling some very, very high entity that has completely lost his ego, like the ancient seventh body masters, that, for example, Hinduism is talking about, like Gautama Siddhartha, for example. Is it still possible to channel Gautama Siddhartha? I think it is. I am channeling a great master of the seventh body. So many of these guides are related to the fourth body, to the fifth body, to the sixth body, and these are great guides, but still you have some ego. With some ego meaning some concept, some idea, maybe some agenda, which is not evil, of course, but it is not the pure truth. You are getting some guides, some enlightenment, but you're also getting some ego. And there are some messages that I'm hardcore against, like, for example, the messages that we get that, this third dimension is evil, is going to crush, and we need just to ascend to higher dimension. And what's the point in coming here in this world? That is a three-dimension world, just because we need to suffer and then leave it for a fifth dimension? Isn't it the same thing as Christianity? Christianity used to say, this is not your true life. You should suffer in this life because the real life is the next life. No, you need to live here. You need to live here to live happily, to enjoy life. If life is pain to you, that means that you need to fix something. This is why I'm hardcore against these kind of messages. And other messages I am a bit against is that some guides are telling us, well, in order to get healthy, your mind is the most important thing. You need to pray your way to health. And many people are falling into this. It is true that our mind is very powerful, and we're going to talk about it today. But it's not that you can pray your way to health. There are some rules. The first body, the physical body, has rules. It is rooted in the earth. Okay, so we receive messages from entities that are connected to the father skies, we can say, father sky, but there is also mother earth that has rules because she is more dense, and the ancient yoga, the ancient Taoism, and all these great traditions, all of them insisted that in order to get into higher realms, first you need a healthy body. So, and there are, on the other side, people that are kind of, materialist. They think, oh, well, in order to get well, there is no need to have positive thinking and just meditate. These are bullshit. You need just to take supplements. And there are also people that they don't even believe to supplements or good food or a good quality of life, but they just believe in drugs. I am not speaking to this kind of people. Unless you are one of these people that is also open-minded. Very rare, but kudos if you are one of those. And this is another illusion, okay? Because if you look deep inside your first body, you will find your second body. Let's take out all the notions of anatomy, etc., physiology, etc., and let's just stick to our experience. If you close your eyes and you meditate enough, at a certain point, if you go deep down inside your body, you will find your mind. You will find emotions. Like, for example, the ancient traditional medicine, Chinese medicine is telling us, For example, anger is mainly stored in the liver. But nowadays, so there are people that are somehow directed in a good direction, which is honoring the body as the temple, which is giving you root, which is giving you energy, and at the same time connected with higher realms, so you can, higher realms are there to give you the direction, not just to you, to your body, not just to your ego, not just to your personality, but to your very cells. This is very pivotal and important. But still, there are people that are doing this, but they are struggling with their health. Why? Why? And this is a bit, has been my journey. The reason is that since the Industrial Revolution, but in particular since the 50s of the last century, after the Second World War, we totally poisoned the world. And that's a given. Okay, there are data, for example. So we have two main problems. The first is the pollution in general. There is the electromagnetic pollution, the pollution of the air, of the water, the drugs that are giving us are poisonous. Now I used to be hardcore against. Now I'm not hardcore against. I mean, if you need some drugs as a temporary mean, it's okay. I don't take it personally, but it's okay. But you have to understand that these are. But you know it already, of course. These are not, the solution. So these are poisonous, and it can poison your body. Also, the soaps that we use, the makeup that girls use, these are so full of, but not just that, also the things that they add into food, into commercial food, preservatives, additives, and even the antioxidants that they are adding to the food. Why? Because there is a concept called bioavailability. So, if they put, for example, vitamin C, ascorbic acid, into tomato sauce, and you're telling, oh, well, this is vitamin C, it is good. No, because you need to understand that the majority of supplements, even supplements that you buy on Amazon, for example, or in your drugstore, they are not bioavailable. Their definition of bioavailability is a substance that is absorbed by the body. But there have been scientists that in the last century, before the official medical science, we can say, before the official science began to inquire into the concept of bioavailability, and they defined it in a very, very much narrow way. So for them, for example, Paul Eck, which is the founder of Mineral Balancing, the science I am graduated in, for them, one chemical substance is bioavailable if it is not just absorbable. It needs to be, I don't know the technical word in English, but breakable by the body, absorbable, transportable, usable in loco, which means in the binding sites where the substance needs to be used, and then easily expellable is, I don't know if this, maybe this is an Italian word. And then the liver must have easy task to expel this substance from the body. So it is a very much narrow thing. And the great majority even of supplements that you are getting are not bioavailable. And that means that they are clogging up in your body. And your body is so full of these toxins that it comes from hair, etc., etc. So there was a great scientist named Henry Schroeder that died in the 70s. And in the 70s, he demonstrated with data that he regarded the era before the Second World War. And he demonstrated that in the 70s, just the toxins in air and water, in particular toxic chemicals and toxic metals, were 1 to 1,000, 1,000 to 1. So 1,000 to 1. And we used to find one toxin before the Second World War. In the 70s, we find 1,000 times. So imagine if you are in a gym lifting 50 kilograms, multiply them by 1,000, and 50 years has passed since the 70s. Maybe the situation is even worse today. So this is what your body has to do. We did not evolve for that. This is why ancient medicine, traditional medicine, Ayurveda, but even naturopathy, Western naturopathy, they have been born thousands of years ago. Their principles are great, the herbs are still great, but they are not nearly enough. The situation is so much worse today. The toxins are not just stored in your intestines or liver, for example. They are stored in the cells of your body, because toxic metals are nasty fellows. They store in the cells because they are actually small atoms, and this is another problem. So the first problem is the pollution. The other problem is that our bodies are depleted. So in the 2019, I think, the U.S. Department of Agriculture reported that in 100 years, so regarding the first years of the last century, the minerals in the soil of the world is 1/10. And why it matters? Because so even if you get organic food, unless it comes from a soil that has not been touched by the chemical revolution of the 50s and 60s, or it has been treated for years with some specific probiotics, which we will speak about this in the podcast, not in this episode, but in general in the podcast. You are getting 1/10 of the minerals that the food should have. Okay, so you're not getting nearly enough. You should multiply all the things you are eating by 10 just to get to a normal range. But since you have so much toxins in your body, you don't need a normal range in theory. You would need 10 times, maybe 5 times what the ancient people used to eat in order to stay healthy. Because so why it matters? These minerals are the minerals that are creating the energy of your first body, your physical body. So if in the fourth body, the body of awareness, we can say the energy is how you can connect to the space, to the peace, to the inner peace. And for example, in the second body, the etheric body, which is the body that the Tai Chi, all this science are working on, your energy is connected to how balanced your chi is. In the first body, energy comes from hormones and enzymes. Okay, these are called adaptive energy, a term that has been invented by Hans Selye, the genius that discovered the stress, discovered in the lab with data. Okay, I think in the 60s, of course, for years he has been neglected by the academical science because, what they do not understand, they tend to mock. And now everybody is talking about stress, but many doctors, for example, in Italy, when they are not finding any causes, because they think that if their exams are not going to find any causes, then the illness is just psychosomatic. They don't have they are not humble enough to understand that their diagnoses are just there for the medical emergencies. I mean, there is a world behind the medical emergencies in which the illness stayed there for years and years and decades in a subclinical forms. Okay, they are not humble enough to not all the medical doctors, the majority of them. So, normally these medical doctors are just saying, it is just stress. It's all in your head. Don't you worry, yeah. But the reality is that the stress is real. The stress is not in your head. The stress is in your body, and it is a demonstrated thing. The stress comes from a stressor, an attack on your life, on your security, which can be a physical attack. For example, a bear is attacking you, or you are walking in your city and you are inhaling toxins. This is an attack and causes stress. Yes. Or it can come from a mental attack, an emotional attack, etc., etc. And This is the attack, and the stress comes from the response that your body has to that. And the response is always stressful, but if you have a healthy body full of minerals, and Selye insisted a lot on minerals, then the stress is short and you can recover. But since we are so depleted, so we don't have hormones, we don't have enzymes, and he used to say that this adaptive energy comes from hormones and enzymes, which are things that are made by minerals. This is why the situation is so dramatic, because we don't have minerals, which are the little atoms the matter is composed by. You can take the periodic table and check it out. Okay, just take out the liquid and the gas, and the solid ones are minerals, So we don't have the little bricks to create hormones and enzymes. And at the same time, we are covered. We are so much covered by toxins. And not just a quantity, a great quantity, but also the quality is so dangerous. The quality of the toxins that we have is so dangerous. They are complicated toxins. Okay. So this is why many people that are aware of their health still are struggling a lot. And we need to rethink natural medicine. Keeping the ancient principles, but applying them in a new way. At the same time, you need to focus. You need meditation. You need the guidance. Because the physical energy that you are creating in your body when you are in a serious holistic program are going to heal you, but at a certain point you will reach a stale point. Why? Because after your body is healing the immediate dangers, then it will come to a point when the physical problems you have are mixed with traumas, okay? And in order for these energies, these physical energies that you have built up in the ancient Taoism, it was called the, I think, refination of Jing, something like that. I don't know, I don't know the word in English. You can correct me in the comments. When you store these physical energies, up to a certain point, then they tend to flow in the same direction they are flowing all of your life. So if you're a depressed person, for example, or an angry person, these physical energies that you are creating, they will go flowing in anger and depression, unless you meditate. So it happened to my clients and to myself. My clients are called, as you understood, guardians of balance. I call them like that, and they like it, so we use it. In which, after, for example, 1 year or 6 months, they would feel very anxious, great anxiety, and then I guided them into a meditation, and suddenly it happened in the meditation that they understood that those, not with their heads, with their heart, with the direct contact, that those energies were their unconscious that was trying to heal itself from traumas. So the anxiety is an energy that is there to help you to recover from bad situations. And during these sessions of meditation, they feel so relieved, and they felt their energies rise up from anxiety to joy, to even to ecstasy, not the drug, not the recreational drug, the real ecstasy, dance in your body. But it was impossible. It's impossible if you are low energy, depressed. What you can do is, if you're a great meditator, is if you are meditating for a very long time, you can concentrate, and in that session you can kind of rise up those energies. I'm speaking about the case where if you are, low energy, if you have low energies. But when you get out of meditation, energies will begin to flow into depression, etc., etc. So there is a reason why ancient shamanism, why yoga, why Taoism insisted on physical health. Okay? So first things first, what happened? So I'm not going to speak about myself. I'm going to speak about some of my guardians of balance. There are people that were not able to get out of bed for 2 years, and after 2 months of working with me, they began to live again. There was a person, was a hand worker, a constructive worker, and he was not able, because he had fibromyalgia, he was not able to get up the stairs of his house. After 3 months, he was able to work again. In general, people realizes that in 2 weeks or 1 month they have more stable energy, they are more proactive in life, they are more emotionally stable. Maybe they are not physically healing since the beginning, but they are really not struggling anymore with their illnesses. And this is when, after some months, so the healing begins from the heart, from your emotion, and then it goes to the mind, it goes to your mental clarity, stability, willingness. And after that, the body has gathered enough energy to heal itself. And then it comes what it can be called a deep healing. Deep healing, it's not just, we are going to take away the symptoms. It is a process in which you are processing the ancient memories of the physical body, which are illnesses. For example, these are called detox reactions. You are maybe experiencing some ancient symptoms that you were not experiencing since maybe you were even a child, or some symptoms that you thought that you had in the past, and you thought that it all was past, but you are re-experiencing that. It is for short times, and while you are experiencing again this, you will always have a great deal of energy. They will be short, and after they are gone, the causes are gone. So this is healing. This is a thing that is also talked about by the science of macrobiotic, for example. So in order to get healthy in this toxic world, you need to be healed very often. But this illness is a superficial illness. Deep down, you will be full of energy. So that means that the real healing, it's not, well, I have no symptoms, so I am good. If you have no symptoms, for example, in 1 year, you don't get a cold, you don't get a fever, you don't get anything, it means that you are very unhealthy. And all the things are storing up, clogging up your body, which can be viruses, which can be bacteria, which can be toxic metals, and they are not making your liver function, your kidneys function, etc., etc. So you can meditate however you want, but they're not going to take all those that cadmium away, or all that lead away from your body. And also, there are some testimonials of spiritual people that after a while, they begin to notice that their meditations went much deeper and were much smoother. They didn't have to concentrate so much. It was just like, a dance. They could relax into meditation. And also the meditation began really to helping them to empowering their life so they could manage their life, taking action. We don't need anymore ascetic meditator. We need practical meditator that are living in the world. Otherwise, this world is going to die. And this is why I'm hardcore against people that are saying, well, it is going to die and we are going to the 5th dimension. No, we are here to heal this world. So the message is, please, be humble and reconsider the things you think you know about. And also put your guides in doubt. Doubt your guides. Heal your body and use your energy to create, not just to chase your health. Always and always. And this is the reason. And this is the message. So thank you. Thank you for staying with me. And we can say that this first episode may be over. We have a lot of things to talk about. And if you like it, please consider to share it and subscribe. Thank you. If you liked the episode, please consider subscribe and share. And if you like my content, you can get a free consultation. Just send an email with your name, address, and a short presentation to holisticessentialwholeness@gmail.com.